Alright folks, welcome back. It's been a long way for those on stream, and trust me, it's been a longer way for those here at Sunshine Coast Stadium. But the lighting has cleared and the hail has melted. We're going to get underway here. Bayside Ravens taking on the Gold Coast Stingrays. As you see, the Stingrays number one seeds. And then fingers crossed at 5:30 p.m. we should still be proceeding with the Rhinos taking on the Thunder. That's a battle between third and second. And let's, before we move forward, take a recap of what's happened so far. Juniors divisions, they took the field first this morning, 9 a.m. The Spartans, they got out to a strong lead at the halftime break and then finished off the Rhinos 32 points to 6. And then at 11:30, the Stingrays, they showed why they have the number one seed, 58 points to 0 over the Logan City Bengals. Day one though, our finalists in the senior divisions, they were sorted. In the men's division, the Ravens, they return to the Sun Bowl for the first time since 2017, defeating the Stingrays 35-7. And the Rhinos, they will also return after last year going down in a very close game to the Thunder, the team of which they defeated last night. And in the women's division, the Thunder also proving their first seed dominance, 62-0 over the Raptors. And in a very close game, the Ravens are women's. They'll be joining their men's side with a 6-0 victory over the Gold Coast Stingrays. So all but one division has their Sun Bowl combatants decided for a fortnight. One more game to go. Now here's the official lineup. Now here there are some changes, and what's on screen has a few of them there, but the official listing is Lucas Haynes will be handling the referee duties at umpire. Steve James. Head lines will be Barbara Johnson. Line judge Tim Tafuga. Back judge will be Joe Goslin. She's done quite a few of those. And field judge will be Tim Burville. And our side judge Peter Solich. My apologies. Our alternate is Chris Emery should anything go wrong. And helping Gary on the replays will be Tim Redshaw. So a few changes there. The weather might have had something to do with that, with availability and some of the delays here, but enough about what has happened. Let's talk about what's going to happen. And joining me now is one of those Sun Bowl combatants, Tristan Ellis, Bayside Ravens men linebacker, here to watch his former team, the Bayside Ravens Colts, take on the powerhouse that is the Gold Coast Stingrays. Mate, you've been on the losing end of this program for a couple of years.
Yeah.
What do they do so right?
I think the Stingrays are always consistent. They've always had big numbers, which I think has helped them come through and build up. Their Colts come through and play seniors as well. I think it's been a big help. They've obviously got great experience there and a lot of good coaching.
And we are waiting for the game to properly go underway. The head coach is having a chat. A lot of talk about the field. They had to suss out the safety. Now, it looks all right now on screen, I'm sure. Very lush, very green. But if you saw it not even half an hour ago, it would have resembled that of a snowfield. Plenty of hail. We've since had the sun come out in the last 20 minutes and melt most of that away. You were there with me, Tristan, as that hail came coming through. A lot of people had doubts would be playing football this afternoon.
Yeah, it seems to have drained pretty well. I mean, like there's still a lot of water out there at the moment, but you wouldn't be able to notice that that was any hail before there. So,
and let's recap last night. We went through the men's game. Obviously, you guys a 35-7 win over the Gold Coast Stingrays. Did that put any of the old the ghosts to bed there? You were part of that 2017 team that went down in overtime to the Gold Coast Stingrays. Obviously, you weren't playing that night. You picked up an injury earlier in the season, which kept you out, or to a position you could contribute in. Did that help exercise any demons?
A little bit. I think this year the roster's changed so much each year, and I think this year we've come in with some really good personnel and we're playing really well together. I think at the back end of the season we've got a lot of momentum coming in, and I think we're able to just keep that steam rolling through, and hopefully we'll have a pretty good shot in 2 weeks' time.
Well, it'll be the same jerseys, but a different division. This time, the clear favourites will be the Gold Coast Stingrays. And we're about to get the coin toss communicated to us down to centre field. Still waiting for the communication. Well, sorry to leave you with the miming there for those watching on the stream there, but based on what we're picking up, the Gold Coast Stingrays would have won the toss because I saw the defer symbol, and very few people win and choose to kick. So the likely scenario is Gold Coast won the toss, have deferred their option, and then naturally the Ravens have elected to receive the first half kickoff. All right, football is back and underway. Back to receive this is the experienced Josh Bowes, and he'll be joining, well, this year he joined a pretty exclusive club, both in GQ and certainly at the Ravens, of being a 6-year Raven. Came to the program at age 14. Obviously during his time there, the Colts division changed, allowing players to play up to age 19. So him and Braden Quinn, who played in the senior game last night, one of 2 Colts, I believe. You would have been just short, Tristan, right?
Yeah.
Like 5 years?
Yep.
6 years in the Colts division. Came into this Ravens Colts team in 2014. About a full 1.5 foot shorter than he is now. First down and 10. Ravens on the ball here, and it's the young starting quarterback Campbell Garner who'll handle the play calling. He'll head back to Andy Miller now for the next play. I'm going to try to get this to Ethan Patu, who is wearing a familiar jersey to the man to the left of me, or at least his bloodline.
Yeah, no, Connor was wearing that jersey last year, and then I think there was 2 25s ordered, so he had to change. Yeah.
Has the lovely name Ellis on his back of his jersey. Second down and long now. Stingrays defense starting strong, the number 1 defense in the division. Here goes Patu again, and again, not given any room to move. Coming up with a tackle for a loss there is Andre Bailey, who was questionable coming into this. Apparently awfully sick coming into this game, but looking at that replay, it certainly doesn't look that way.
No, it was very, very good angle. I was able to cut him off before he got to the line of scrimmage.
Tell you what, if you're coming into a game sick, this weather isn't exactly the best game to take a chance on regarding continued sickness. Third down and long now for the Ravens. Caleb Danielson Jensen is a wide receiver. This is possibly going to be considered a fumble. No, incomplete pass. Again, I do wonder if they're going to consider the option of intentional grounding there. No such play. That'll bring on the punt unit for the Bayside Ravens, but that pass rush from the Gold Coast Stingrays, historically ferocious, no different here in 2019.
Yeah, I think you'll notice the centre blitz in that last play there. I think the O-line struggled to pick that up. So we'll see if we can make some adjustments and see how they deal with that further in.
And it's a... Wow, okay, I don't think I've ever seen this before. I would love to see how this is ruled. He can't punt that again. The ball was punted once. Oh, well, check that. He had the option to punt that again, and he'd been able to be put in a position. Comes off a Stingrays play. That's Joshua Perrin. And immediately back to the punter there, and he tries to progress it. That's one of the weirdest plays I've seen this weekend. And we've seen some weird punts. We might be having some issues with our referee audio here, so I'll do my best to try and communicate any calls. In any case, very short field here for the Stingrays, who also boast the best offense in this division as well. They'll run it on their very first play. That's Max Cusson, the Byron Bay product, taking the first run of the game for this offense. Not a productive one. A loss of 4 on that play.
Yeah, there's a familiar face in the backfield there.
A couple of these guys. This Ravens unit, it's small. It's amongst the smallest numerically in the division, but it has got a lot of experience. Minimal safety help here for the Ravens. Everyone up close. And they'll try to come in with a screen. That pass was intended to Jaden Paludan. And quite frankly, it's weird to see him in the Colts division. All the games I've covered with him in 2019 has been in the men's division. Still working on getting some of this audio issues sorted. We've got second and goal, but it's all the way back at the 11.
Yeah, it's at 16.
Yep, it's been a long day. At the 16, 11.
Illegal formation on the offense, too many in the backfield. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is third down.
And we've got the ref audio back. So there was a penalty there for too many in the backfield. Declined by the Ravens. They'll take the third down here on the 16. Ravens move Cosset out to the slot. That will be targeted, and close to being a fumble there. It was in his hands, and now there's late flags coming in.
That'll be at the back on 76 for pushing the Stingrays lineman into the ground after getting up.
And yeah, we see the action there. Garrard knocks that ball out. Good job to play the hands. We still have a flag to be assessed.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 76, that'll be a half distance penalty, automatic first down.
That is Ethan Wu.
That is 76,
penalised
first
there, and
unsportsmanlike conduct of the game.
so sportsmanlike, so one more of those will get him set. Look, you're coming in as underdogs, and I'll dare I say it, pretty short underdogs as well.
Yep.
You can't be giving opportunities like that to your favorite, to your opposition.
No, definitely not. We spoke to the boys beforehand about giving away penalties, and it's not a great start in their first drive. They could have had a nice stop there.
Importantly, that was the third down.
Yep.
They give him a fresh set and welcomed him right back in. Jaden Paludan picks up his first catch.
Yep.
Can't do too much with it though. Down just inside the 5. They'll get second and goal from the 4.
Yep. Looks like Josh Perrin's not having a great time out there.
You got an injury timeout, and that is because, of course, Joshua Perrin 0-0 so far in the early minutes of the first quarter. We are playing full 8-minute quarters at least until halftime, and then obviously should anything change in this weather situation will be reassessed. Keep in mind, if we get 24 minutes of game time, that is enough to constitute an official result here. So should we get 24 minutes of play, effectively 2 full halves, 2 full quarters I should say, 16 minutes, my math's all over the place at the moment, forgive me folks, but effectively 2 halves being played is enough for a result, and anyone above on the scoreboard there, should they have to abandon the game, it will be declared the winner. Should scores be tied or the game is abandoned before that, it will go to the high-seeded team, which is the Gold Coast Stingrays. They've got a second and goal, looking to be the first team on the board. motion now. That is young Samuel Paladin. And now it'll be Ken Tompkins keeping that. Maybe gets a yard. And you can see, a bit of a breakdown on the play there. He thought he had a player to be pitching it to, but LSU played some quarterback.
Yeah, back in the day, I think there's always going to be a bit of miscommunication there, especially in the Colts division. Everyone's still learning.
Third down and goal from the 6.
Tight end in.
And
Inside run.
Run behind that tight end. Now he bounces to the outside. Taking that carry there is Max Cusson. Well, we've got a small break and play before the next play. Just taking a look at the regular season final ladder. You can see the Stingrays there with a perfect 10-0 record. They're taking on the Ravens there. They picked up 4 wins this year. Ended up with a 4-6 record. And one of those losses was a game that was abandoned at halftime because they couldn't supply enough players. And they were quite short to begin with, and injuries mounted, and they had a bit of a rough period there during the middle of the season.
Yeah, definitely. We've got numbers back though.
Court Chapari's now in the game, and something I didn't get to talk about pre-game there is the fact that there is effectively no real starting quarterback for this Colts team because they've got 2 high-quality starters there. In fact, both of them were the first and second string quarterbacks for the most recent Queensland Sun Devils unit, the under-19 Sun Devils, and that is Gorkort Chapari, and to centre field for the penalty assessment.
We had legal formation on the offense, 5 in the backfield. That penalty has declined, result of the play's turnover on downs.
Well, how about an effort there from the Ravens on that drive, even after giving up the unsportsmanlike conduct. They protected their goal line there. And a penalty there was on the offense. The Ravens declined it and earned themselves a turnover on downs. That is a good effort against this Stingrays offense. But yes, Gorkort Chapari, Ken Tompkins, starting quarterbacks for the most recent Sun Devils team. Neither of them could beat each other out throughout the season, and now they simply rotate in.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good option to have. They allows the playbook to open up so much more because both of them are different quarterbacks as well.
The Ravens managed to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe even grab half a yard there. Goal line are right behind them. But yeah, I was talking to head coach Colt Isham about it, and he goes, yeah, it is a problem, but it's probably the best problem you could have.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad one, especially when you got 2 guys that can stand up in the pocket and throw the ball downfield, and both got wheels. So
yeah, you'd argue Gorkort Chapari probably more of the running quarterback between the two of them. Let's say that Tompkins is at all a slouch, but he's probably more of the pocket style.
Yeah.
And this is part 2 again, getting the carry, and every time he gets the football, you see 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4 Stingrays all over him.
Yeah, I think this O-line need to sort something out there with their pass protection and their run blocking. The Stingrays' D-line is always going to be pretty strong. Let's have a game plan around it and how they can kind of allow some time and open up some lanes.
And went with a 5-man line there, trying their best to just add as much meat to the line and carve out some room for a punt. 3rd down and 10 now. Haven't been able to move the ball.
I think we might see a pass here.
But 2 still the man in the backfield, and flags are down. They're letting this play go.
I think it'll be an offside.
So this might be a little bit of movement the Ravens need. And again, the Ravens, just like the Stingrays, having a few issues between quarterback and running back, trying to figure out the right side for the exchange.
Offside, defence, that 5-yard penalty will be third down.
Well, they weren't able to do it themselves, but a penalty here gives them a little bit of space here.
Yeah, I think we might see them try to throw the ball, and then they've also got a bit of space if they need to kick the ball.
We haven't had a chance to properly see Campbell go on his arm here. Only 15 years old. They've gone with youth at the quarterback position. Hard count. They try to get him off again. They almost do. Oh, but it's a nice cut behind the line of scrimmage by Patu, but Cusson, no, number 39. That is Kai Keynes. Makes the tackle.
Going back to Campbell, I think he's for a young guy coming in, I think he's done a good job in his first year. I think he's a big ceiling for a young dude. I think once he grows into his body a little bit, I think his passing attack will get better. He's got a really high IQ for a young guy. So we'll see how he goes in the future.
And the Ravens get to punt this now. Slightly more comfortable position. A better punt than last time. It gets past the Stingrays initial line, and Paladin is there to field it, but his Queensland teammate Josh Bose meets him immediately. Nicknamed Bosch, his team at the Ravens, to the point where I ask about Josh and no one knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think that all started. We had a lot of Joshes in the team, so we had to try and find nicknames for everyone.
And Bosch is the best you guys came up with?
Yeah.
First down and 10 at Stingrays. Got denied at the goal line on their first offensive drive. They'll go speed option with Kawachapari, but shutting that down there for the Ravens is the brother of the man on my left, Connor Ellis.
Yeah, he's a bit of a quiet achiever. He has a bit of a temper, so I think getting delayed a little bit there. I think he's a bit fired up. Just loves to get out and play. And he's rotating in a bit between D-line and linebacker. He loves getting down the line. He didn't get to do that much playing in the last state tournament. I had him back at middle linebacker, and he loves it down pass rushing.
A loss of 3 on that last play. And with the player in motion, they'll run the Queensland starting quarterback once again. Kawachapari again finds some yardage this time around, but hemmed in considering I know the damage he can do. And that is the end of 1 quarter of football. The Ravens have kept this score to 0-0 so far, but the Stingrays are in possession to begin the second quarter.
Yeah, I watched these guys a couple of weeks ago, and I think the defense is they can stand up to what the Stingrays can produce. But I think the Ravens need to be able to move the ball on offense. I think that's probably their biggest task coming into today.
Yeah, and we've seen that a couple of times where the underdogs of the lower seeded team has managed to keep the game tight for even up to the first half. But eventually, you need that offense to kick in, and because you can only hold out a team for so long.
Yeah, I think it's also very Ravens-esque that the defense is always keeping the offense going, putting them in good field position and stuff, so, and making big stops there towards their end zone.
Well, Ravens' offense so far only reduced 2 punts. Haven't seen the Stingray side of the field as of yet. Still early days. They're only 2 possessions. Stingrays now on their second possession as well. see any flags on the field, but the Lucas Hanser Whitehead, a referee, is called for a stoppage. Thought for a second maybe Ravens might be challenging something because it is their side judge who's coming in to discuss. But no, I don't see any red hankies on the field.
You know, I can't imagine trying to challenge anything as of yet.
Okay. It was just a matter of a placement there. They wanted to first check if the ball was spotted properly, and then they just wanted to make the chains were reset accordingly. So we're all set to go now. 3rd down and 8. Korchapari in the back with Cusson. And a clean pocket allows for a good throw from Korchapari, trying to connect with Payden, but out of his hands the ball flies, incomplete, and that's again another situation where the Ravens have brought the Stingrays offense to 4th down.
Big 4th down here for the Ravens if they can get a stop and give their offense another go.
Three down linemen for the Ravens. Trip set for the Stingrays out to the open side of the field. Korchapari drops back, but now tries to run for it. If he beats a defender, he's got plenty of space in front of him, and he chooses to step out of bounds at the 15. The footwork for Korchapari on display.
Yeah, in 9-man football, there's always so much more space in between the guards. Less players on the field, obviously. So those broken plays where quarterbacks step up in the pocket and scramble, there's always a lot more space.
We have those situations where, especially if you dial up a defensive play that's specifically a pass rush, those guys who technically are the 1 and 3 tech, the defensive linemen who are handling interior duties, find themselves very wide, which, as you said,
yeah, it's very hard to keep your lanes and stuff.
So it gives multiple more running lanes for the quarterback.
Delay of game on the offense. 5-yard penalty remains 1st down.
Another delay of game.
Didn't seem like it was that long.
Yeah, no, I've been confused a couple of times now, particularly after a penalty. There's never as much time as we clearly think there is to get the playoff. 1st down and 5. And that one is by design and is kept by Korchapari. Stiff arms Perrin, and we'll take this down to the Ravens 6.
Yeah, I think we'll find Connor biting down on that toss there. I've seen Stingrays Colts do that a couple of times over the years. Design keep for the quarterback.
It's not a bad idea as an offensive end or anyone breaking through the line there. You see that pitch motion, you're going to go take the running back.
Yeah, it depends what you're game planning for. Where I think Connor knows that he should have held his water and had a better angle there.
Korchapari looks left, now goes back to the middle of the field for his favourite target in a Palyard. And how about Josh Bowes to play the hands all the way to the end there?
Yeah, he did well. 85 looked like he had that in the bag, and it's amazing what happens when you can get your hand in where the ball's supposed to be.
You notice a lot of corners, and you look at the NFL scouting combine and you hear scouting reports about any DB that seems to be lacking speed. Generally, they'll be really good hand players, and they'll be able to spot hands. So they might not be there to make the play on the ball on the receiver, but once they play the receiver, they'll knock that ball out. Spread formation here. Well, the Stingrays, they fake the run. Chapari keeps it, but he's got a Raven on him.
It's enough for a first down though by the looks of it.
Young Zachary Garrard, who's actually of junior division age, but given the Ravens' inability to field the junior side.
Yeah, he played Colts last year as well, and he was really really good. I think he surprised both Ross and Luke Chapman about what he could do at such a young age.
First down and goal now. Stingrays converting on that last play inside the 5. They'll pass here on first down, looking for the one-on-one coverage to Palyard. Josh Bowes wins that one again, and that's a matchup that has literally lasted at least 3 or 4 seasons now. Obviously, with the back-to-back-to-back Sun Bowl matchup of the Ravens meeting the Stingrays in the Colts Sun Bowl, we've seen a lot of these players go at each other for multiple seasons now, and that's a particular one that has raged on throughout the years.
Yeah, I think no matter which side 85 goes to, I think we'll find Josh Bowes following him. I think I'm probably going to be playing a lot of man coverage today, I presume.
That's Andy Miller, now the head coach of the Ravens Colts, returning to the Ravens nest. Former Colts head coach. The last time the Ravens won at the Sun Bowl back in 2013 in the Colts division, and then was there when the women's side was formed in 2015. And they made the Sun Bowl in their first year, went down to the Stingrays. And now he's back, although he's only been in the past month. Got Chapari. Tucks, runs and is looking for the goal line. Gets hit a la John Elway. And we've got him down, marked short of the goal line. We've also got a flag thrown back at the middle of the hashes at the 5.
We've also got a Raven down there as well.
You're
Finals
right.
number 34, your own Bradshaw.
One of these new players, Aaron Bradshaw, wide receiver safety. The Ravens sideline now being approached by Lucas Haynes, the wide-out official. The brief sun we had and is now ducked away, although we are getting a little later in the afternoon here in Queensland.
Holding. Offense, number 60. 10-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
Stingrays there. A hold in there. Offensive lineman there and Jared Rose, who I think was close to not playing today. Had to try and get off work. He's a supervisor at his appointment. Looks like maybe the delays might have helped him. Standing at that shift. Second down and goal, but we're all the way back at the 14.
Spread formation, looks like they're on the ball.
And looking for Palyard again, and this time it's David Christie on the coverage. And I don't think that is actually Bailey, that is 95. That's Bailey, I think, on the catch.
Andre Bailey.
Again, for a sick man, he's playing pretty well. And that is the experienced, not only state, but Australian safety, and David Christie covering him there, but a good inside move. Breaks the deadlock. The Stingrays get on the board first.
find it quite often in the Colts. They'll opt to go for the 2 points instead of trying to kick a field goal, especially where around the ball will be spotted. I think it would be pretty muddy to try and kick out of.
And I'll throw it out to Cousin. It's a... Well, I thought it was a backwards pass there, so...
Interesting.
Technically would have been a fumble. He could have recovered that and promoted it.
Yep.
Just looking at where Kawachapari is. A line ball. Kawachapari, you can see he throws from the 13 there and it lands behind that hash mark, but and perhaps that's what they're discussing now.
The result of the play was an incomplete pass, therefore the point after touchdown is no good.
They took the time to talk about it there and just to confirm that their decision was correct. They deemed it an incomplete pass, and therefore score remains at 6-0 here in a favour of the Gold Coast Stingrays. We're itching to get onto the field there. A lot of these guys had to travel over 2 hours to get here. Some of them who lived south Gold Coast would have been closer to 3 hours, in fact.
Yeah, I think it took us probably an hour and a half from South Brisbane. So yeah, if you come from the Gold Coast, definitely a fair trek.
And get the sense that Gold Isham there had his hand on the hanky and considered throwing it on the field, but thought he would save his challenge. The Stingrays last night, actually, offensive coordinator Connor Brewster was in charge of any challenges. He did take his opportunity to challenge a play there, but found out his particular penalty wasn't reviewable. Here go the Ravens on special teams. It's a solid return, getting him past the 30. Eventually, the tackle comes from...
It's probably the best field position they're going to have so far.
Wilson Spicic on the stop. And that's it. The Ravens need a big play here. Right now their play calling has been dominated by runs up the middle.
I hope to see some more diverse play calling. Trying to open up some of the options. They've got some nice athletes there out wide.
First down and 10.
Some bunch formation.
And we go with a tight end and a fullback in the field there, and once again that's Patu taking the carry. Right now he is this offense. Second and 8 following that 2-yard carry from Patu. Not sure if there's any relation to Luz Patu playing for the Griffith University Thunder. And again, Ravens in no way trying to play the misdirection game, or as you described earlier, trying to offer a diverse range of players. They're trying to back this running game here. That's another hard-earned yard there.
I think with the pass rush, like the Stingrays, I'd like to see some screens, try and let their pass rush through and throw over the top of them. It might hold them up in the future.
Admittedly though, haven't seen a whole lot of the Ravens' offense this season. The screens aren't exactly something you can install on the fly.
No, they're not. They're not.
It's one of those things, if you haven't practiced it, it's all about timing and knowing how to play on the run. It's not something you want to throw in there last minute. And here is a pass attempt, and this is picked off by the Stingrays. And that is Andre Bailey. For a man who was considering sitting on the sideline today, he's had his fingerprints all over this game. Had a touchdown on offense, and now he adds one on defense. And the pass rush there on young quarterback Campbell Garner, just too much. He tried to get rid of it, but the only one in the vicinity was Andre Bailey.
Yeah, you can never hesitate as a quarterback. I think that's when
Two-point conversion here. Unsuccessful last time. Gonna pass it again. Looking for Paladin, and I think we all saw what's a pretty clear PI on that pass attempt there. Multiple flags thrown.
yeah, I think Josh Burrows got caught snoozing there a little bit.
Or the officials, I should say. Good long discussion on this one. And I'm on fire today. They're waving this one.
On the play, the result of the play is no good.
There you go.
Well, how about that? Well, that's why sometimes it's best just to throw the flag, then you can talk about it, see what other people saw from other views on the field there, and
Didn't really look like 85 got his hands up either, so I suppose maybe they just thought it wasn't catchable.
Uncatchable, yeah.
Yeah.
12-0 following that Andre Bailey touchdown. And the Ravens, what the good news for them is they'll be going straight back on offense. And, well, the challenge of what I said last time, talking about trying to mix up the playbook, with a young quarterback who's in his first playoff game, you know, you don't want to put too much pressure on him.
No, but I think being able to set up some pass plays with high completion rates and get these guys getting yards after the catch.
It's a quick kick here from the Stingrays. Bose picks it up at the 20. Finds a gap in the middle. This might be the boost they need. Can he race him? Out-race him to the end zone. It doesn't look like that'll be the case, but what a return there from Josh Bose. Going from 20 to 20 almost. Gets it to the Stingrays at 22. It's just shy of a 50-yard return. Well, now the Ravens, the deepest they've been at Stingrays territory. I wonder if this sort of changes their play calling philosophy.
I suppose we'll see here whether it's more of the same. Two tight ends.
Yeah, they've actually gone to two receivers as well out on the outside, and they'll give it back to two. He is their bread and butter. getting play call. Here's Ghana coming back to the huddle now. Now trips formation here to the right side of the field. A block of it. They'll change it up here, add a bit of a toss to there, and that gets them at least wide of the initial defenders by the Stingrays. But doesn't quite get them downhill, maybe half a yard on that last run.
Yeah, I think number 52, he's also in his first season. I think if he held the outside there, I think the experience would have sent him to the outside. And
that's the 2 minutes warning. There is 2 minutes left in the first half.
There's a 2 minute warning here. Score is 12-0 with 2 remaining in half number 1. Twins right for the Ravens. Garner rolls it that way, sending it to the end zone, and it could have been caught on the tip there. Perrin would have been underneath it, and that would have been a very exciting way for the Ravens to jump on the scoreboard. Incomplete though eventually. It's the hand of Cusson.
Yeah.
That ruins that play for the Birdtown.
Nice tip drill.
I don't mind that at all. Andy Miller getting his quarterback rolling out, moving the launch point there, giving his young quarterback a chance against this pass rush. 4th downing, 10 now. They need to get to what looks like the 12. They'll pass again, a roll out. They're going to the exact same play. And it almost comes through again. That'll be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, there's a flag there on 9 after the play.
And the Stingrays could be returning the favour the Ravens offered them in the first quarter on a 4th down play. We'll wait to reserve our judgment until after we hear the reasoning for this flag, but that was a 4th down play. A dead ball wow would likely see the Ravens getting a fresh set of downs plus half distance. Well, I am seeing the Ravens offense come to the sideline, so doesn't look like that'll be the case. Down to center field.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, Stingrays, number 9. That penalty will be enforced half distance to the goal. Stingrays retain the ball. First down, Stingrays.
Well, here's the explanation of that. Because it was after the result of the play, which was incomplete, the play was incomplete there, meaning the turnover stands there. The Stingrays...
That is number 9's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul.
Do keep the ball there, but of course the penalty gets enforced, which means you have half distance. The ball was just beyond the 20 there, so now they're back on their 10. And now it's Tompkins back on offense, and in an out route by Jaden Paladin, trying to beat Josh Bose. He does to make the catch, but Bose does chase him down before he can race away for 6. Still a huge gain there on first down for the Stingrays, taking it to their own 39. And now they'll take a timeout as well, stopping the clock inside the 2 minutes.
Timeout. Stingrays. That is their first charge team timeout of the half.
Yeah, I think you find the Stingrays like to run a lot of slants, posts, fades, and quick outs. So see double moves like that. It's not something we normally see from the Stingrays. It's obviously something they've game planned for.
Yeah, that's one of those things. If you can get the early threat of those inside breaking routes, and allows for plenty more excitement later. First down and 10 coming out of that timeout. From their own 39, and now an early jump here by the Ravens. Defensive tackle corner Chisel. Jumping early there.
Penalties like that in the final will get substituted, as we've just seen.
Offside, defense, number 90. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
First and 5. Gets him just over a yard short of halfway. Three receivers out to the left and got Costin in the backfield. He'll be there to protect. The rush is on for the Ravens. They won't take him to the ground, but they'll take him down for a huge loss there. Ellis and also quite simultaneously Zachary Garrard credited for the sack. Forward progression looks like has been marked.
Timeout. Stingrays.
Back
That
at
is
the
their second charge
Stingrays.
timeout of the half.
37. They'll take another timeout, leaving them with one left and just under 90 seconds remaining. How about that? Does that make you proud of the young lad there?
Yeah, nah. Like to say that I taught him a lot of stuff at linebacker there. Nah, he's good. He's a good athlete and he's a good kid. He's also been able to put pressure on the quarterback.
It is. Said quarterback is Tompkins. The rotation between the two quarterbacks for the Stingrays continues. Quick throw here and an arm in the throwing lane there by Caleb Danielson Jensen will make this 3rd and long for the Stingrays. In the spread, Cousin is looking left and throwing deep. He's got his man. He should be clear to the end zone. Inside the final 2 minutes, the Gold Coast Stingrays add another one. Aiden Dobosh streaking away for the 3rd Stingray touchdown this afternoon.
Yeah, I think you finally see 88 getting caught with his eyes at the quarterback there in man coverage, which you can't do, especially when there's no deep help.
Exactly right. The Ravens, I'm not trying to disguise any blitzes. They've got 3 down linemen every play.
We might see them throw it again here.
No motion now here, and
Well,
they'll pitch
toss
out to
backside.
Cousin. Will be chased down
Nice tackle.
nicely. Danielson Jensen again. Doing a job hemming up at that run play.
Yeah, that guard's definitely got to do a better job at getting out there on those run plays.
Both Stingrays quarterbacks with passing touchdowns now. And it's an ugly kick, and it'll be picked up here by Garrard. And he's still going. Bounces out of the scrum that was formed
Can't seem to get him down.
near the right hash, and eventually comes to a stop at the 39.
It's not the prettiest return you'll see, but it is what it is. I think if the Ravens are going to look to throw the ball, I think they will try and keep moving the pocket.
Last time they're on the field, Stingrays blitz there will shut down that first down run. They sent some pressure from the inside there, and I think it was Kai Keynes made a first contact. James Clark also in on the stop, and now we have a Raven down. And Raven's still down, still can't make out who it is. I think it might be a running back in part 2. Can't see him in the Ravens huddle, far side of the field. We might be in for a stay here. No, he's getting helped out. It is a part 2, and he's lifted to his feet, and it looks like he is okay, good enough to walk off the field.
Yeah, I was down there in the change rooms. It looks like he's held together by strap and tape.
"42 seconds left in this half of football."
The Stingrays have elected not to take the 10-second runoff due to the clock stopping for an injured player.
Sportsmanship there. Well, he could have opted to run up 10 seconds there, which is a rule that's applied inside the final 2 minutes. But a team in possession has a player go down injured, effectively for tampering.
See 48 move into the backfield.
Minimal safety help here for the Stingrays. They've got Cusson back. Not too deep, but he's deep enough. This pass intended here for Brad Curtis. Too long, incomplete, and that'll bring up 3rd and 12. And one of the returning O-linemen there for the Ravens, Ruben Mackey. Tight end and a fullback out here on the left side for the Ravens. They'll roll out to the right, and they'll want to hit Josh Bowes, who did get behind the coverage there. A couple of Stingrays pointing off, trying to figure out exactly how that should have been defended, but the pass can't find its target. That'll be incomplete. Clock stopped at 21 seconds. 4th down here for the Ravens.
See if they go for it.
Well, they're sending the quarterback out there. Perrin waved back to the sideline, and they're going to keep young Campbell Graham on.
See there, he had a bit of time in the pocket, so see. We'll look to throw the ball again.
Yeah, we're going. My apologies. It is a clean pocket. He might have been hit as he threw that though. He was trying to find Josh Bowes down the right hand sideline. Again, the pass sails on him. Incomplete. That'll be a turnover on downs for the Ravens. And the Stingrays now will have just about 15 seconds to see if they want to load up and take a shot at the end zone here before the half.
Yeah, one timeout, so they'll have at least 3 plays.
Yeah, it gives you an option to use the middle of the field as well.
Yep.
$18-0, 15 seconds. Spread formation. No hold the near side by receiver. Custom move to the left side. And there's good protection there for the Stingrays. And he throws to... Is that number 18, I think? That's brother of Jaden Paladin, I should say. And despite the double coverage, brings the ball down. Nope, check that. They've called the incompletion on that last play. 2nd and 10. Stingrays still with a couple downs and 1 timeout. 9 seconds left on the game clock until half time. They go back to the same formation, custom on the right. He again protects now. Tompkins has to roll to his right. He's under pressure. Throws to the sideline. Coming back to it was Jaden Paladin. And time might have expired on that play. And we're seeing helmets coming off. I think that will be the case. It is the case. Halftime has been reached here in the first semi-final in the Colts division. The Stingrays, they lead the Ravens 18-0 going into the break. And
for you to kind of like...
Makes sense. Alright. Looks like we are back. A very short in halftime there. Didn't give you the heads up about that. Due to the delay to kick off here, and Stingrays won the toss before the game, elected to receive the second half kickoff and threatening to do some damage here. It was Aiden Dobosh scored a touchdown in the second quarter. Got the ball back here to the Stingrays. 37. And now we've got an injury timeout. It is the returner. Also worth noting, you might have seen on your screen, thought the whiteout might have been making an announcement, but no. On the screen, the game, well, the decision was made to shorten the final 2 quarters. Usually 8 minutes of these games have been shortened to 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know if we've got to replay that tackle there, but I think Connor, or the returner, got into that tackle a bit awkwardly. He folded a little bit.
So, during this injury, yes, let's take an opportunity to talk about some of the other results and other GQ related stuff. Men's Sun Bowl, mate, a fortnight from now it's been set. You'll be taking on the Brisbane Rhinos, as senior team you've had quite the clashes with over the regular season. A win each way, as Dobosh looks like he'll be walking off the field under his own power. But yeah, 2 weeks, mate. your thoughts ahead of the game? Just 24 hours fresh from your last victory?
Yeah, I think obviously win yesterday. We kind of got 24 hours, enjoy it, and come back to training again Monday. And we've got 2 weeks to put in. Spent
Extra practices booked in for the next 2 weeks?
Yeah, plenty. Yeah, we're gonna have plenty. Probably throw in a couple of film sessions and prepare as best we can so that we can come out and have a good game and hopefully come away with a win.
First down and 10, coming out of that injury timeout. Quarterback rotation rotates once more. Court Chapari in for the Stingrays. A 3-step drop from the pistol, and he delivers a good ball there to his receiver, and a Samuel Palyard there, and that'll take them into Ravens territory. Ball now at the Ravens 32. Chapari with a touchdown in the first quarter. Touchdown pass, 4 yards to Andre Bailey. First down and 10 now. A deeper drop here from the pistol because he's throwing long, looking for Jaden. Paid again, and oh, how about the concentration on that? Josh Bose thought he'd done enough. But the persistence of Jaden Payton there brings in a grab that takes him inside the 15.
Yeah, when you go up for those jump balls as a DB, you really got to make sure you get your body in front. But saw there a very tough grab.
Reels it in. Stingrays back on the attack. Okay, and Mackin in the left slot now, fresh from his game in the Colts division. Payton grabs the hitch route, circles his way forward. That was a good gain of 11 there. Out receiving his brother at the moment as far as reception goes. And no, I thought we had a first down there. No, it was actually a gain of 8. We got 2nd and 1 now. Getting it to the 4 will get him 1st and goal. Chapari flushed it out. Now looking for the corner. He had an open Jaden Payton in there, but too much behind the pass. Incomplete. Now we've got 3rd and 1.
Bit too much juice on that one.
Ball's on the 5. 3rd and 1. Trips out left. Noah Hull macking out there, but he wants the one-on-one back to the right-hand side. Again, a pass too high. The coverage was tight there from Josh Bose. David Christie, a name I haven't said too much today by the touchdown that was caught on him here. Usually a strong safety, but due to the out of necessity, I should say, has moved into a linebacker role for this Ravens defense.
Yeah, he linebacker's brain, the safety's body. I like to say.
Linebacker's brain and the safety's body.
Heart of a line.
He tries to fake out a blitz here. Still doing it. Doing the old fake blitz dance. Chapari again has to roll to the right. Has decided to run, and he will do so into the end zone. Flags, though, back down at the 10. in the area of holding.
We hold
I think
48.
possibly the lineman there and Jared Rose might be considered candidate for holding down to centre field. And the call's confirmed. Holding on the Stingrays. And what would have been a touchdown stays off the board. And what was a 4th and 1 now becomes 4th and 11. Discipline inside the red zone has been a weakness here for the Gold Coast Stingrays. Spread now with Holland Mackin out to the left. Pallion brothers out to the right. And Trapari wants the post route. Had it, and then Bose covers it nicely. This battle between these two experienced Colt wide receiver, Colt players is exciting to keep a track of. Jaden Pallion beat Bose to get him down here, but then Bose extracts his revenge by denying multiple passes. Jaden inside the end zone. Turnover on downs here.
I think he might have got away with a PI there. You seen the replay? He's holding that back arm down.
Stingrays would argue that's two Bose have gotten away with it, but it is the art of being a corner nowadays. Yeah. You've got to find a way how to get away with it. The rules are designed to...
Not illegal if you don't get caught.
The rules are designed for receivers to score and make catches, so...
Yeah.
And they're trying to get outside the interior defenders here for the Stingrays. Flag thrown in after the play.
I'm not sure whether that's on 9 or 90.
Oh, mine's the one coming off the field here. Jack Boswell and Jaden Payton will step into him. Illegal block in the back on the Ravens there, but the penalty declined. The Stingrays happy to take the down there. Helps when you do a good job defensively. And another pass attempt here for Campbell, and he did somewhat have an open receiver in Brad Curtis, but he needed a different style of pass there. Incomplete. Now we've got 3rd and long. Connor now back on to zone 11. Lead 14 here on this 3rd down conversion. Protection's good. Gunner has time to let this fly, but I think there was a miscommunication on her outs there.
Yeah, threw for a fade, ran for a post.
The offensive line in that last play, they're doing a great job. A nice clean pocket to throw from, and now we've got a Raven down. Looks like Josh Perrin on his haunches.
He's got a history of bad ankles.
And as he gets looked at, we might take a timeout ourselves. Stick with us. You're watching the Gridiron Queensland 2019 SEQ Playoffs, brought to you by Livestream in Brisbane. I guess we're talking about the weather now. It's that time of the day. Time out here, 18-0 for the Stingrays. You can see the clouds coming back out. Not necessarily ominous ones. Blue skies return to the Sunshine Coast. Perrin makes his way back to the Raven sideline. And a few more blue skies here and a little more of a hopeful finish here for our playoff fixtures this weekend. Both nights on both days have had delays now. Almost a guarantee. Play of football in Queensland. Ravens now punt this away. It's Ellis with a punt. It's a good one. Takes a Raven bounce. Payton's still trying to touch, almost touched it there, and wow. Talk
15.
about flipping field position. He punted that from his own 10, and it's been down at the Stingrays 15. And how about that nice tribute to that man, Paddy McAfee. I didn't think I'd say his name as many times as I have this weekend. For the brand.
Nice old swing of the clubs.
Just put me on your show, Pat. That's all I ask.
It's a good one.
Please, mate. Third quarter here. Final minute. 44 seconds remaining. In the third quarter of play. The Stingrays currently lead 18-0 over their rival Bayside Ravens. I'd say a healthy rival has developed between these two teams over the last half decade.
Yeah, well, you'd hope so after all the games they've played against each other. Big games at that.
Tompkins finding Mackin over the middle. Macklin, get there eventually. Mackin spins out of a would-be tackler. Gets to the 38. Finding a soft spot in the coverage. Eventually it's Bose that takes them down, and now we've got a timeout to the Ravens.
Timeout. Ravens. That is their first charge team timeout of the second half.
Two teams that take a timeout. This one called by the Ravens. No, we'll take one ourselves. And we're back. 18 up. A couple of stoppages there between injuries and timeouts, and it looks like the Brisbane Rhinos are kitted up and going through their warm-ups. A couple of former Ravens going over. Former teammates there during the timeout. 10 coming out of that timeout. And now a flag's been thrown on the Stingrays sideline. Both sidelines, in fact.
Interesting. Got a false start.
Yeah, Curtis Bailey there, debating with the officials about the decision.
That was a nice play there, 48. Nice sack.
Might just quickly kill my microphone here as we do a quick battery change.
I'm calling game.
And we're back here, fresh set of batteries. And, oh, hang on, sorry.
Looks like game's called.
Okay, amongst my battery change there, it looks like they will forego the fourth quarter of football. And from the messages I'm getting, in the interest of time and getting the fourth and final game of today over, they will call this a game over here at the end of 3. No change to the halftime score. The Gold Coast Stingrays have defeated the Bayside Ravens 18 points to 0. And they will be heading to the Sun Bowl. They will await their opponents after the result of the next game. We'll be getting ready to kick that game off just under 15 minutes. And that'll be either the Griffith Uni Thunder or the Brisbane Rhinos taking on the Gold Coast Stingrays, who, like their juniors, will be in pursuit of a perfect season following their defeat of the Bayside Ravens here in the semi-finals. Kenny Andres, big thanks to Tristan Ellis, trying to remember which Ellis brother I was with, joining me here for that game. Commiserations to the Bayside Ravens. Stingrays, though, congratulations. Joining their juniors in the Sun Bowl in 2 weeks down at Red Cliff Oval. We'll be back shortly, 5:30 kickoff for the fourth and final game of Playoff Sunday.